talking about the forecast around here. We got a little taste of fall last week, and things are warming back up.
But they're going to go right back to fall. We're going to get more fall weather tonight and through the next couple of days. So if you like the cool stuff, you're going to love tomorrow morning. A lot more 40s showing up again tomorrow morning. After we had a brief little warm up today into the low 80s, we'll be right back down into the 40s with cool air ahead for most of this week. Now we're keeping an eye on Ian. Obviously, this is going to be a big player for our weekend forecast, but for the week, it's going to be beautiful ahead of it. You're not even going to think about a hurricane or a tropical system as this heads towards Florida as a Category 4 storm. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions. Hey, Brad, why is this weakening as it's moving in? That's deceiving because the thing about categories for hurricanes, it doesn't really talk about the impacts. The category of a hurricane is just the maximum sustained winds. There's no storm surge, there's no rainfall, there's no tornadoes, there's no duration of flash flooding. None of that is taken into account for the category. The category is strictly just about the wind speed. And when this slows down, the wind field will spread out. So that means a couple of days of a large hurricane battering the coast, pushing a lot of water. So this will actually make the storm surge worse and cause flash flooding to be a big issue because it's going to be raining inland. That water tries to run back out into the Gulf through those creeks and streams and rivers, but the water's being pushed inland by the surge. So you can imagine this is going to be a lot of flooding. And then it slows down even more and meanders over the southeast through the weekend. That's where we get in on the action because we're going to have cool Canadian high pressure. I talked about how fall-like it's going to be this week. There's going to be a stalled front there. So we'll be on the cool side of the front, which means a chilly rain on that. We're actually going to see temperatures only in the 60s, and that's why we're probably not going to see any severe weather because we got to get into the warm air. Unless the track shifts and we see warm air surge in here, we're probably just going to see a kind of a miserable cold rain for several days. And the upslope into the mountains, that further adds to the rainfall total. So our major impacts are going to be all about flooding. The only reason this isn't higher, we've gone 14 days without a drop of rain in most of the Carolinas. So we have plenty of room in the creeks and streams, but if you get enough rainfall in a short period of time, you could still see some runoff. There's the tropical storm force wind probabilities. You could see even in the Carolinas, there's a chance we'll see breezy conditions, mainly because of the difference of that high pressure north and low pressure south. That's going to squeeze the air. It's going to, we call that a pressure gradient. That will produce a strong east-northeast winds, maybe gusting to 20-25. Not enough to bring down trees and power lines by themselves, but if you soak the ground for a couple of days and loosen that soil up, that 20-25 mile-an-hour wind can bring down some trees. So you can see the setup. This becomes a low-pressure system meandering over us. Look at this. This is Sunday. It's still over the southeast, interacting with the front and the high pressure. Could take until late Monday for this to finally move out. Now, the rain chances will diminish slowly as they become more scattered, but the heaviest rain is likely going to be late Friday through Saturday and early Sunday. Look at some of the rainfall totals here in the Carolinas. We're talking 3 to 6 inches in the mountains, 2 to 4 inches across the Piedmont, and a lot of that's going to happen just in a 2 or 3 day period. So what are our main impacts? Flooding for sure, some gusty winds, again, 20-25 miles an hour, but tornadoes. Unlike most tracks like this, we'd be worried about tornadoes. The cool air is going to help us out. So that's something I'll be watching. If we see the warm air surge in, that could change completely by the weekend. So get used to this for a couple of days, though. Temperatures in the mid 70s. It'll feel crisp and cool in the morning. A lot of 40s in the morning with low 50s. And look at this, 60s for highs. That's what I talked about. This will be a chilly rain for Friday and Saturday. And next week, we'll start to dry out a little bit as temperatures return back into the 70s.
All right. Thank you, Brad.